We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson. I'm gonna mess around. I'm going to Jackson. Look out, Jackson town. I've been the wife most all my life to the worshipful master of the Masonic Lodge, risen in the ranks to worthy matron in their sister organization called Eastern Star. If Daddy hadn't driven to Jackson, stopped the early morning bus, I don't think I'd be standing here gathered with all of us. An early riser beside a gas stove, searching for the guiding light of matches before striking out on a state job as a home demonstration agent. The bright lights of some other life hang in the back of my head like the compelling glow of the Eastern Star hung over the Christ child's manger bed. Every Tuesday in a pink pill box, I preside over clandestine rituals at the Marion County, Arkansas Masonic Lodge. I'm guiding wives as worthy women and hauling rainbow girls up the ranks. A secret society of do-gooders grounded me from breaking ranks and running off. Like I said, if Daddy hadn't driven to Jackson, hunted me down and stopped that bus, I don't think I'd be here, gathered as one of us. The prick of the brooch, a 5-point star, started feeling like the steering wheel on a Galaxy 500 car. The getaway get-up, a powder blue Sunday school dress, hemmed with eyelet lace, a bus ticket bought with money I religiously did not drop in the offering plate, year after year after year. Can't you just hear a pot of pintos whining in a pressure cooker? It was the Eastern Star that drove the Christ child to the manger. It was the Eastern Star that put this lady on her path, shackled and free, shackled and free. That's where we all tend to be. It's sundown now. I'll keep stirring this stew. Maybe I'm just like those old searching magi who set off into a winter's night, following a star, wandering home into their very own promised land. Thank you. I'm Minton Sparks, and this is John Jackson. We're thrilled to be here tonight. It's a really special night because it's John's birthday. And yeah. And every time on his birthday, he'll call me up and say, "Come over and tell me some of those family stories, Minton." And, you know, I just go on over and do it. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And this one's called Y'all Line Up. Can I get you to hold my purse, please? Don't go off with it, all right? Y'all line up. My meemaw hollered, intending to willow whip us all. Her words ghost stung, red wasp against my gangly legs. She lined us up beside her school bus, the one she drove at daybreak to earn her own money. I was standing so close to each of my criminal cousins, we were strangling each other's shadows. Which one of you wants it first? Again, the terrorist demands. I mean, much like y'all didn't none of us raise our hands. Playing down in that ditch, right where the neighbor lady landed. Thump! In a nest of snakes? Oh, land sakes, child. Well, bewildered, not brave, I reached for the sky with my south paw. Whip me, I'll go first. My boldness, confused for courage, she recognizes her line, and it will not be broken. You see, I am her own. Thank you. All right. Tonight, as you listen to some of these stories, I'd like you to look in the back of your own family history and start to see if it stirs up anything for you. If it reminds you of anybody, because you never know when somebody that you know is going to have a birthday and say, come over and tell me some of those family stories, right? You're with me. This is called Fill Her Up. Midnight, outside Memphis, the only light for miles. An 18-wheeler runs over a rubber hose. The ding so loud, we kind of dance in the gas station office. Mama collects herself for customers, tugs her 3-hook bra, shoves her hair up under a Tommy's S.O. ball cap. The name Ethel cross-stitched on the station shirt like she's become one of the ingredients in the gas she pumps to put me through school. She lingers longer than I'd like in the driver's side windows. Young men cling to her cleavage, nasty answers to her question. Fill her up. Car after Cadillac car, she rams the shiny shaft of the jointed nozzle down the dark hole of the tanks. Knocking her knuckle on the back window lets them know she's through. An oil-stained rag hangs off her pocket. Around her neck she wears a locket, a picture of me pressed inside. Sometimes she pulls out prematurely, and the slippery fuel kind of puddles and drips down the drain as she strikes a match on her zipper to light another smoke. Oh, Lord, that woman plays with fire. And for years I burned with what I learned there on the outskirts of Memphis. You see, a young girl can't fathom what a hard woman knows. Thank you. Woo! Now, I don't know if that any of y'all have any relatives like that? No? Yes? I see some people saying yes. They don't want the person beside them to know. They're kind of going. But you know, it's nights like this, when you're celebrating people you love, that you come out with the truth. And it's time. I think it's time. Let's draw the line in the sand. Let's just start spilling our guts to one another, and we'll have a chance to do that later in the show. I'm just kidding. People get scared. Don't make me do anything. I tell you what I'm going to make you do is the Tennessee wig walk. That's what I'm talking about, yeah. All right, lessons later. This is called Ghosted. His manufactured housing's haunted by a spouse who's wanting something she can't get up the gumption to ask for. Pacing plastic rug runners, a hooded white terry cloth bathrobe, rattling her ball and chain, praying he'll speak her name. It's Lorraine. You kind of lose something when your name ain't called and your face ain't seen. Your beauty gets buried. You know what I mean? He hadn't summoned her since he, damn you, Lorraine, at the Chili Cook-Off Fire Hall fundraiser for loading his bowl full of Tabasco. He'd made a ghost of her, staring straight through her at the TV, kind of nursing buds, acting in public like he didn't know who on earth she was. She fried up the heart of her hand in a cast iron skillet, hoping that maybe she could still feel it. Poor Lorraine. You kind of lose something when your name ain't called and your face ain't seen. Your beauty gets buried. You know what I mean. She's just a docile haint in a hand-hewn jail. That match made in heaven's become a living hell for this see-through woman folded up on a hideaway bed. The roving face of the oscillating fan. One lazy eye, her mechanical friend, tracks her every move. One night, she stands before that fan, its face a cage. In both her hands, spits each letter, clickety-clackety-click, into the electric breeze. Rain. Rain. You kind of lose something when your name ain't called and your face ain't seen. Your beauty gets buried. You know what I mean. Call my name. Call my name. It's Lorraine. Woo. Lord. You know that woman had some problems after that. But like I said, we're coming here on this birthday celebration telling the truth, right? That's all right. And listen, we're not going to have an intermission, I know, but we do have some wonderful cakes over there. But we are going to open the mic up. So if something's welling up within you and you want to tell a family story, know that there'll be a chance. You can just come take it away from me and say, I got to tell it. I got to tell it on my Memo or whatever. That's just it's an open invitation to everybody. All right. The town where I grew up had some characters, to say the least. And one of those characters was a woman by the name of, we called her Mrs. Pickle. Some people called her Ms. Pickle. We called her Mrs. Pickle. And this is about Vicki Pickle's mama. I remember the first time I saw her, Vicki Pickle's mama, strutting to the snack bar in a two-piece leopard print bathing suit. 10 push-ups on the concrete beside the pool, draw eyes like flies. You want to talk some desperate housewives. Before she orders her curly fries and a Coca-Cola. Melon bosoms kind of swim beneath that leopard skin. Red slingbacks dig dark marks in the close-cut grass. Neighbor boys have to beat back their pup tents in the cool pool water. Praying the pink heads of their privates don't strain that wild, floral, high-volume fabric. The last time I saw Miss Pickle in that tight fit and get up was the day my daddy caught her sunbathing on the haunches of my quarter horse. under the cover of cottonwoods. She was slathering copper tone on casual like, "How's your family? Do you think we'll get a storm?" I mean, like my daddy wouldn't fall for her high atop the horse. Mama home slicing rump roast and smoking herself into a bass. She should have sung alto, truth be told. It was Vicky Pickle's mama that brought on every bit of that summer's drama. Now, my mom acted like she didn't care that Daddy fell on Miss Pickle way up there, till she split, cracked her skull wide open on a home-canned jar of cucumbers. I tell you, if the heart won't break, the mind'll shatter in a million pieces. She's still spit-picking glass shards from her graying gums. I tell you, I hate the name Vicky Pickle. Bad as I hate her mama. Thank you. Thank you, John Jackson. What about him? Woo! Some birthday cake and pie both for him later. Hope I hadn't embarrassed him. Now listen, we're going to get down and dirty now. We kind of did the light stuff. Just penetrate, okay? Come with me now as we penetrate the stories. And this one's about one of my best aunts. And there was a little gossip going on about her around the family. You know, when somebody picks up the phone, then somebody else picks up the phone, and pretty soon we all knew what was going on. And the only thing you'd hear about her is like, Trella's trash. So this is called Trella's trash. She was blind in one eye and can't half see out of the other. My mama's favorite aunt was Trella, so they called us when she left him Trella's trash. Kinfolks punctuate the line with their pork rind fingers. She's finally gone and left him, leaving lies told Arkansas style, hissed across the party line. She's over there with the help, sleeping with them at the nursing home. Every time she visits her mama, how dare she leave? 65 years of marriage. 65. Lord, she's 91 and blind. Buck naked, bare boned under that frayed house coat. She tripped over it as she sprawled into the back seat of the cab, hauling a handful of wild daisies clear across Little Rock. And I heard he beat her, treated her just like a slave, made her tape Reynolds wrap over every peeling window in that run-down house. What? To keep out the light. Psst. He kept it out all right, till dark was the only hand Trella had to hold. 10 years back, she fired a shot at Frank's Ford window and the gravel was flying, staining the bruises on her cheek. The hell she did. That rifle kicked. She sang Amazing Grace into the smoke she casually blew off the barrel of the gun, 'cause she'd won. For a minute, late that night, he was rattling the door. "You want some more, Trella? Do you want some more?" "Well, sure I do, Frank. I always did." Thank you. Thank you so much. Woo! This is really nice space. I'm so glad to be asked to come here. Thank you. All right. We've kind of loosened ourselves up, haven't we? How many of you have ever fallen in love with a peeping Tom? Come on. It could happen to any of us. Right? Look at her. See, she's not shy, but she's been coming to a lot of shows. That's what can happen to you. You keep a coming, it's no telling what's going to happen. This is called Peeping Tom. If you told me straight to my face, I'd have called you a liar. That is, told me I'd have pined for a certain Tom who beep in my windows. The inaugural ballin' was a Sunday after second shift at Ford. He showered, shaved, then sashayed across town to crouch on a crate by our bay window. Still can't figure why the dogs didn't bark. Later he found our number. He must have known our name. Revealed how he peeled off my dungarees and painted me in lingerie. Licking his lips so he wasn't so lonesome out there. All I did, I swear, was kind of circle my hands in the dishwater, rear end kind of tip toward the window. Oh, he about jerked a knot in it. Police roughed him up when they found him out. Slapped Tom 10 years against my husband, lock him up for life. Well, you can imagine, he'd used my husband's wife to desecrate the holly bushes. A red tip raging at an October sky. I never really caught his eye. Just heard the whimpers through the screen door over dull dinner talk. Late dues at the Moose Lodge. Teenagers cussing me over casseroles. There was that one little note Tom wrote, said he'd never really done this kind of thing before. Have you? It was the sway of my dinner hips, the way sundown shone off my still auburn hair. So there, little by little, I left some trinkets on the sidewalk, nothing special. Peach preserves, silver cufflinks on his birthday. I'll stand here and say it. I still pine for a certain Tom who helped this blind woman to see and this crippled woman walk away. Thank you. Thank you so much. If you're clapping to that one, it means that you can relate. And I feel joined. Anybody here ever leave their mother's house or grandmother's house, and right as you're leaving, she'd say to you, when are you coming back? When are you coming home, girl? When are y'all coming home? And you'd say, well, I live somewhere else, Mama. I'm married. I've got some kids. I love you. And, you know, and she'd always just say, when are you coming home? And my grandmother did that to us all the time. And so I wrote a piece for her. And this is called When You Coming Home. Mama lit out for college, 1953. Warming a Greyhound bus seat and a sack of dreams. She traces the driver's tattoo on my arm every time she tells a story. Chest squares in cheesecloth soak a Samsonite suitcase. A soiled note her mama wrote said, when are you coming home, girl? Soon? She tells how my daddy dazzled her, kicking quarters in his shirt pocket in the lunch line, second week of school. Next thing she knew, he'd bought a ring. He couldn't afford the thing. She quit school to marry. Let's leave his hellhole, he hollered. Dusty squalor. His Impala down Highway 24, he swore he'd make a doctor or a lawyer. or a junk bond salesman, hotel developer. Grandma lit her heart afire, set it in the windowsill, mouthing prayers at Mama's senior picture. When are you coming home, girl? When are you coming home? Sure, my daddy gave her a house to keep, some kids to raise, a yard to mow, an old clunker car to go places she'd never seen before. It wasn't long till Mama's northern stars fell out of her house dress pockets onto linoleum. Sometimes at night, right here, in this drafty kitchen, crickets pinch her nerves, viceroys soothe her soul. She aches to answer the call across the years. When are you coming home, girl? When are you coming home? Thank you. Thank you so much. Wait, here's my water. Hold on. He opens. Have you ever, well, I don't want to draw attention to it, but did your mother always tell you to wear a slip because maybe you could see straight through it? I've got on a slip, but I'm worried about that right now. Just let's hold that space for one another. The slip space. Okay? Raise your hand if you're willing. Thank you. Got some takers. Other people said, hell no, I'm not going to hold the slip space with you. That'll change, though. We'll be so close after this, Lord knows. You'll be inviting me to your birthday party. I can feel it. This is called, I don't know if any of y'all have got people in your family with drinking troubles. But as you can tell from my family, with all that's going on, there was a little alcohol needed, really. It was more medicinal. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, and I wrote a piece for some of those who are over-refreshed every once in a while in our clan. This is called White Lightning. White lightning. No, wait, that's not the start. Let's go back and start. Lightning never strikes twice. Hey, at our house, white lightning struck every night. A painful past will make you a walking target, kind of like a lonely pine in an open field. She should have been cooking our supper instead of sipping on a storm, love rubbing the bottle, sloppily corked with a baby's sock, till the dominant genie of violence spills from the flask and strikes our floor. We wait on the thunder of her voice. Count. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3. Feed the darn dog. Time bump drags the knuckle of the long hand across dusk. You should have seen her looking at us, throttle-eyed, hair on end, a tooth or two loose and black in the socket. Oh, the lady is lit. Go ahead, cower under covers. Pray for the storm to pass. Lightning never strikes twice. My ass. In the morning, the clouds clear, the sun briefly shines. She draws a rainbow down around her shoulders like a striped shawl. Here come her prepared promises, We know them by heart. Never again, child. Never, ever again. It's a predictable path of crumbs we follow into our family's dark woods. Over the years, I come to prefer my moonshine to the empty promises of rainbows. Prefer sullen wool shawls knit from Baba black sheep. Have you any wool? Prefer the jolt and the sear of white lightning on my lips. 100% proof, lightning always strikes more than one to the floor. Thank you. Thank you. If that doesn't inspire you to write some of your own poetry, I don't know what will. Anybody write poetry here? What kind? Just any kind? Confessional, lyrical, nature poems? That's wonderful. Okay. In the small town where I grew up, sometimes people were mentally ill. You talk about birthday celebration poems. That's what I'm talking about. This is called Dark Socks. Alto probe plucks fescue grass from his sidewalk crack most of the morning. The leaning loosens a limp ribbon of longish hair. It divides his vision like the red ribbon of his pocket Bible parts the red seas of the Psalms. On the left, his birthright Hebrew scriptures. On the right, the honest to God good news for modern man. Gospel comfort meant to descend dove-like on his newborn soul. It was the single gift Alto got for his reluctant conversion and subsequent baptism into the fold. It was a sorry exodus for what looked like love. That for sale sign in the yard might as well dingle-dangle around his neck. That woman, the woman who should be here, up and died. I don't think Alto ever even cried, though his neighbors mistook his anguish for bereavement. A goodbye note written on wide rule, loose leaf notebook paper works its way up under his skin, itches more than those old sweaters she crocheted him way back when. Exiled sanity, his cross now to bear. Old boy stands outside, no underwear, just dark socks, wondering whether to give up her ghost or commit hara-kiri on the sword of her Lord. That old boy had some problems. Thank you. All right. This is when we do the joyful number. I know you've been wondering, where's the joyful numbers? Well, they're coming. They're right here. Anybody ever buck dance here? Got any buck dancers? We're in Kentucky and no buck dancers. Just refusing to raise your hand, but you're a buck dancer. All right, well, I'm a buck dancer. And when I was growing up, my parents wouldn't let us come in for dinner until we'd practiced the Tennessee wig walk I was talking about earlier. And after we did, you could come in, and if you did a good job, you could have some dessert. And so I was in a dance troupe, and when I got so good, my daddy said I could go down to the grand opening of the Marco Polo theme park. You know how they take dance troupes down to these big grand openings? Like, you know, Piggly Wiggly will have some dancers. Well, we were down in Marco Polo at the theme park, and this is called the dance caller at the Marco Polo theme park.
Single file engine style, grab your honey and go hog wild.
He lumbers from the men's room to the gazebo stage across a steamy parking lot. Square wire glasses, oil slip down his nose as he fiddles with the zipper on his dance pants. Behind him, a herd of teenagers tote duffel bags. Rutherford County square dancers embossed on the side. Their dance shoes click shuffle off stage like shod horses on hot pavement. Clip clop, here we come. Bluegrass blares, a high lonesome wail. Shuffle 1, 2, shuffle 1, 2. Put the birdie in the cage. Birdie out and the old crow in. Old crow back in the circle again. Woo! The red rises on his face as Penny Burns' dress slashes at storm skies. Ricky Reed's wingtips knock pockmarks into asphalt. Woo! Woo! Sweat runs creeks down our backs from the foothills of Tennessee. Yippee! In the distance, a roller coaster croaks the hill, then falls. Sweat slick hands send me sprawling it past the ladies through. Woo! Now, gents, you too. Woo! Circle back and howdy do. Woo! Betty Blaylock's bouncing bosoms make a yes man of the hot clapping crowd. Woo! When the time comes for the buck dance, we hear clap, 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 clap. Clap, 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 clap. Woo! Steve Buckner's up first with a self-styled Appalachian stomp. Greg Webb hitches his britches, drops the splits, back up, shuffle 1, 2, howdy do. Woo! Promenade. Everybody promenade. That's when the rain begins to fall. A nearby popcorn awning is too small to shelter the sweltering crowd. The caller falls over his soft belly, holding the microphone. We don't see him, we just dance on. Woo! The caller falls into some sticker bushes beside the stage. Woo! He clutches his checkered chest from the heat and the rage. He mumbles something like, shuffle 1, 2. Shuffle 1, 2. Woo, woo. There's not a real big buck dancing space right here, but I gave it my best. Woo. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody here ever drive fast when they're mad? Yep. My mama would really get it. She'd put some olive oil on her hands and say, shut up, kids, and just get it. And, you know, I had to when I started telling these stories. I had to let that one out, and this one's called Screaming Around Corners. My mama flies a car. Black gloves, wings on the wheel of a long silver bird, lightning fast. Brother and I burn fingernails across red leather Cadillac seats. Hang on, sister. Her world 4 white walls. White walls. A box that rounds on the sharp corners. She's squealing at demons I hadn't yet met. Cackling witch, like speed was the next best thing to love. Windows down, hair afire, she is almost free. Nosy neighbors snoop from behind heavy curtains. Click, flash. Pictures developed into fence row gossip. Well, she mowed down our maple. She maimed our tomatoes. Told the swing set and never look back. Shh, Mama bribes our silence. Don't you tell your daddy. Tire still squall, rubber marks the road, her alibi. They need more air. I turn the quarter on adolescence, aching to burn some rubber behind the wheel, and a gray 4-door Skylark arrives. Hey, I too will fly, only toward my life, not away. Thank you. Ooh, let's don't do that one. We're trying to bring a more positive message tonight. Bringing in a positive message. That's a positive message. I don't know if y'all have revivals around here. When we were growing up in Arkansas, Memphis, we had revivals. We had to have more of an Episcopalian crowd up here. I don't know. But where we were, there were a lot of revivals, and there were a lot of revival preachers. And some of them, well, they were characters. Had wild names. They'd drive around with a little U-Haul on the back and the band and everything. And well, it was good times, but it was wild times. And this one is called John 3:16, guest preacher at the prayer meeting. He swaggers, reeking Jack Daniels, into the microphone, a bulbous mesh phallus. It divides our living room den. Those who are, those who aren't. Christians, adorn yourselves with Christ, he exhorts through capped teeth, wearing all white, wide collar shirt and alabaster platform shoes. Will we gawk, wide mouth, like the bass we just deep fried for supper? Playing on his line, oh sinner, come home. Ain't Nell acquiesces, walks the makeshift aisle, metal chairs lined in 3 short rows, bears the cross she wears around her neck to him. Piano hymns swell the air seductive. John 3:16 writes Nell's name into a black book, shouts, God won't forget those listed here. John runs diamond cluster hands through his coal black hair. Tells us of the evils of liquor by the drink. Listening always for some dark angels urging a climax. This man is driving divine words down the backs of our throats. Now, I don't know if anybody truly came to know the Lord that night. But later that summer, I did hear tell Aunt Nell came to know John 3:16. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Thank you. Woo! John Jackson. On a night like tonight, this is really special to be here. Our family we really didn't go out much. I mean, we had a little free time. We'd just basically go chase ambulances, something like that. And I had to write a little piece that's called Ambulance Chasers that commemorates that. After supper, rain rattles, tears bead and slip down a caulk kitchen window. Dirty dishes drown in a stainless steel sink. The phone rumbles twice. Sandy asks, can you spend the night? Mama nods yes by the icebox as a butter dish slips and strikes the floor. Upstairs, I pack my overnight case. Toothbrush, clean panties, and Waylon Jennings playing cards. Wait in the garage, pet the dog till they come. A rusted out truck arrives. Sandy's stepdaddy drives. We lounge on a Budweiser stained mattress in the back and talk about boys. Backing out her mama mouths, knock if you need us, just knock. Before she pops the top, guzzles, chokes, and sputters. Bonanza's Steakhouse, T-bones and tater tots. Hey, I say I hadn't eaten, but I have. Highway 50 fights us like a wet cat locked in a dollhouse. I'm car sick way before the U-turn. Come to find out, these folks follow ambulances. Track trouble. Lap up flashing red lights like malt liquor. Low-life snakes. We slither towards the lake, then finally fishtail to a stop. Dizzy on stepdaddy's driving. I spin out on the first dead body I ever saw. Stinking, fish white beneath a sheet. Dead for days, the policeman says. They slide the bloated body into the salivating siren box. Soaked. Sandy and I just stand there and split a Sprite. I can't honestly tell my mom in the morning we had a nice time. Thank you. Woo, John. All right. Now, oh Lord, we only have a few more here, so I've got to tell this one. Anybody have any gossipers? Are you a gossiper? Now's the time to let it out. Okay, one gossiper here. I see a gossiper back there in the back. Yeah, I do. Hi. Look, they look real solemn when they're not a gossiper. Look at that man. I'm not a gossiper. You know who you are. All right. I mean, it takes one to know one. I wouldn't know unless I'd done a little myself. Right? This one's called Cluck, Cackle, Peck. That's a gossiper. Lean. Poor old Daryl. Biddy's cluck over crackling Coca-Colas. Linda's let herself go. They peck popcorn from a Tupperware bowl and cackle. Bah! She's big as a broadside of a barn, and he ain't but that big around. But she won't wear a girdle. She can't keep house. All those filthy cats she keeps, somebody ought to call the law. Now my boy Sam, he saw her soldering car parts into sculptures in the night sky. And there Daryl breaking his back on the graveyard shift. Oh, she'll be the death of Daryl. Mark my word. Now I heard she's over bumping uglies at the song director's house to check Atkins records. That's just gossip. Wipe the dust from your feet, girls. I wouldn't touch the wicked woman with the Jesus-sanctioned 10-foot pole. Linda's let herself go. Well, these cluck curses, chicken shit, only fertilized Linda's leaving, and they like to had a fit the night she hiked her skirt and lit out of that two-bit dumb cluck down. And by the grace of God, Linda let herself go. She let herself go. Let herself go, all right. Go, Linda. Go, go, go. Thank you. Woo. Yes, Lord. That's what I'm talking about. That's what happens. Well, anybody want to hear South of Decent Tennessee? All right. We did an interview with somebody in it was like the German BBC, and they were saying, why don't you ever do any racial poems? Because you're from the South, and and that's supposed to be an issue. And I didn't have anything at the time, and so I wrote South of Decent Tennessee, the place where I like to say I came from. South of Decent Tennessee, they wait. White-haired, chins wagging, both of them nagging at 90. The home reeks of mothballs and didn't quite make it to the bathroom. Recliners now divided by one police band radio, spewing dark chitlins on the rug. They lap it up like Cairo pecan pie. The nasal dispatcher breaks in and enters the room like an invited vandal. 10-foot tall, black male, breaking and entering Germantown. The white woman clutches her gown around her, imagining Lord knows what all. A familiar fear fouls the room. The vile word nigger darkens their dentures. Knock, knock at the back door. Papa kind of angles his walker across the floor to greet the black preacher's wife from across the street with a holy kiss. And get this, preacher's wife, Gloria, brings supper third night this week. Meringue-covered chocolate pie for dessert. They circle the table to sup on the sustenance made by their Savior's black body. Papa offers up a prayer over the blare of the police band radio, warns the preacher's wife as he cuts a chicken neck with a razor-sharp knife. It's dangerous out there. Gloria mouths, don't I know it? Oh, Lord, don't I know? Thank you. All right. May I have my purse? Ma'am, do you still have my purse? Anybody in here, just because we've gotten so close over the evening, I have 2 more poems I'd like to do for you. Do you have any family members that go from room to room in your house with their purse? They don't set it down because I don't know what they think is going to happen. But this may be something that was of another time and another age, but we had a lot of family members that did that, and this is called Her Purse. The church crouches in the crook of dead man's curve like an old leather catcher's mitt. After the burial, huddled on the hill, Daddy read the will then and there. Now my Jebbo didn't have a lot, but what she had was what we got, and she bequeathed me her genuine leather pocketbook. A bone bag that dangled off her wrist for years like a growth, a bunion or something. You'd have thought she was hauling Tennessee state secrets or some other family's fortune, the way she policed that purse. Set it down, Mama. Might as well have been kiss my ass in that woman's mind. Lumbering back to the car, I didn't get far before I knelt down in the Johnson grass and exposed her Tennessee tote sack to daylight. Chiclet spilled when I clicked open the clasp. A vial of pills rolled out in the grass, some butter rum lifesavers, and a narrow tooth comb. Chapstick, shed keys. an old birthday card she'd gotten from me, some wadded up Kleenex, half a stick of double mint gum. What I really wanted was her rubber change purse. It was red with a slit down the middle. She'd pinch it open, take her pointer and thumb, and press those coins down into my palm at offering time when they passed the plated church. It was there in the side zip pocket. I found a secret she thought she'd buried. A love letter from a farmhand, Howard McDaniel. I love you too, scrawled in the margin of the yellowed note. Her purse just gaped open there in the grass. The contents exposed. I felt like I'd stolen her clothes. This woman who swore she was never naked before her own husband. Thank you. Thank you so much. We've been thrilled to be invited here tonight. Thank you so much. Tonight we're going to leave you with our crossover tune. We've been mostly played on folk stations, 4 or 5 plays a week. It's been a roller coaster, really. And what we decided to do is, it's time. You know, everybody does it. Crystal Gale did it. We've all done it. Do a crossover tune. And this is called, I played ball in high school, and there's nothing like that particular flavor of the ball bus. And this is called Back of the Bus. The yellow-smelling school bus might as well have been a seedy motel room for all the bumping and grinding we got into. Away games on the pep bus, 21 boys, 19 of us, let the good times roll, girls. Ow! And the rough hands drag.
Sparks, get your butt back on this bus.
Coach shouts as I swagger out. Overtime victory, 58-53. 10 years to beat those bitches at home. We pretend to shower, sprinkle baby powder down our shirts and under our pits, slip down damp ponytails, and wait for the boys to put their tails in a save seat in the back of this bus. James Brown, Bootsy Collins, shake your booties, start the hollering in the aisles. Coach cracks a slimy smile, says, hey, don't ruin your reputation, girls, then you ain't got nothing left. Dance bodies, perfume, the country air, we're bumping, pumping, red hot gasoline. Oh, it don't get no better than this, girls. It don't get no better than this. Tommy Two-Tone runs a rough hand over the small rise where the breasts ought to be. We're talking the old story, the Princess and Pea. Somebody hollers above the ruckus, let's go to the liquor store. It's on the roof. Hey, 100 proof. Hey, it's on my arm. Hey, some Boone's Farm. We're drunk on the beer that falls off the wall. 89 bottles of beer on the wall. 89 bottles of beer. Coach makes us substitute the words Coke or Sprite. Come on, man. All we're going to do is throw off our electrolytes, cup after cup of lemon lime Gatorade. Woo, we got it made. I mean, Ladylike is lost on this bus. Look at us. Rhonda corners Ricky Roper by the window. I can tell by your smell you've been doing it by the well. Woo! Oh, yeah. My mama's Ram Charger silhouette Sam Carter smoking Salem's out the window. She'll tan my hide when I get home, but for right now, girls, I got it on Rome and the throttle's wide open. It's in my locker. Hey, somebody bopper. Hey! The point guard on the boys' team lets off a little steam by slamming his duffel bag in the rack over Renika Malone. They sneak and snuggle biracially as the bus snakes faithfully through the back roads. Woo! And at the party, hey, we drink Bacardi. Hey. Coach always caves in every time that we win, and we sneak and kiss tight like oily fish all the way home. Sardines, hey, and pork and beans. Hey, I can tell by your eyes you've been kissing Mr. Wise. Sardines, hey, and pork and beans. I catch your eyes with a million stars winking out my window. But right now, young love blurs the boundaries on the highway, and we sing, I did it my way. On this moment, on the back of this bus. Thank you so much, John Jackson. Woo!